Good evening, everyone. We are so excited of being back for the first time in like 6 months. Jeez. But we are excited about being back and having our first open up program this summer with Jerome A. Piper Sr., a single father that's making it happen. So we're excited to have him on our broadcast tonight. So I'm Glenda Woolfolk. I'm the president and CEO of No Sister Left Behind. Who is snoozing me? No Sister Left Behind. And I'm going to turn it over to Linda or
And
Shirley.
I'm Linda Factory, and I'm the finance treasurer of No Sister Left Behind. And it's good to be back with everybody and excited about our conversation tonight.
Yes, well, welcome once again. I'm Pam Walker, and I'm the Vice President of No Sister Left Behind. And again, we're happy to have you with us tonight.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Well, we have a distinguished young man with us tonight, and we're excited to have him. This is his second time on our broadcast. He talked a little bit more last time about his personal life, but tonight he's going to talk about the life that he shares with his daughter. He has other children as well, but he's raising his youngest daughter. So we're excited to have Jerome on tonight. So, Jerome, we're going to get right into the questions. You can talk as long as you want, however you want to do it. But
All
we're
right.
excited to have you. We know that you are a very transparent type of person, and it's always
Yep.
a pleasure having a person that just will tell the truth and just say it how they feel. So we're excited about that. So our first question will be, tell us a little bit about yourself, Jerome.
Well, a little bit about myself. Well, I'm born and raised in Bakersfield, California. I now reside in Fresno. I growing up, I say I, probably had it, had a normal childhood. Um, I probably my mom was, a single. I come from a single parent household, and you know, um, as as you get older, there's some trials and tribulations. There's some trials and tribulations that came along the way.
Mhm.
Um, that came along the yes, that came along the way in the sense that I ended up with addiction later in my life, and that kind of put me in the situation that I am now, being a single father, raising my daughter, as you saw. um, but yeah, so there there is how can I say, um, so love you, baby.
Oh,
Give me one moment. Give me one moment. So basically, sorry, lost my
it's
train of
okay.
thought. So basically, I ended up having a daughter in my addiction, and I ended up going through the whole CPS process,
Mhm.
um, and getting her back, and that really changed my life. I believe it saved my life. If I, because before then I had made a bunch of bad decisions and choices. However, those choices and decisions made me into the man I am today, and led me down a path of reunification, and in this path of parenthood or fatherhood, that was a little bit different experience than that which my older two children. And so I kind of get to see what my mom went through, raising me, my brother and sister, right, by herself. So definitely, that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Good, good.
Give me one
Thank you,
moment.
Jerome. Thank you, Jerome.
Come
You
sit over here.
you talked about having her
Why am I feeling
Yeah.
this
in
way?
your addiction. You talked
Yes.
about that. You talked about that. So so what happened after that? I mean, what caused you, or what gave you the motivation to seek custody for her?
Wow.
So what gave me the motivation was it was definitely a time for change for me. There was definitely
I
uh,
love it.
yes, this is yes. So definitely a
Uh,
time for change for me,
mm,
in the sense that that it was the situation was have a seat, babe. the situation. Give me one moment. Give me
Okay.
one moment. Give me one moment. Here, you got to have a seat. Go in the house, please. Give me one moment. Daddy, can you get something for me really quick? Sorry. All right.
Okay.
So so all right. All right. So basically, um, I had this child um, that was on the 23rd of December. The 24th, CPS took her away out of concerns for out of concerns out of Huggy. Now go in the house, babe. Go. I want you to get and they took her away out of concerns for her safety, and so for me, being a father, not knowing, um, not not knowing where she was, it was a self check moment for me, and
Wow.
I had to. I didn't know where she was for like a month, you know what I mean? And so it's something clicked inside me. I always say that, God blessed me with her because he knew what I was going to do as a father. And so I was able to, um, get her and change my life per se. And as you know, the rest is history.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jerome. Well, you're doing an excellent job. She
Yeah.
like being around you.
Yeah, she in my hip pocket. I'm like, hey, hold on, like, give me one moment. Yeah.
We have a gentleman in our chat. His name is Hughes. He says, "I'm ecstatic for the
Here.
subject. I was a single father of two sons. Let's see, two sons. Okay, two
Oh,
sons, ages 6 and 2 at the beginning, lasting 8 years. Have since married and had two more, bringing the total of four sons: 17, 14, 2, and a newborn." So yeah, I thought this topic was well needed too, because there are men out there that
yeah,
are trying to raise their children. So I think that are raising their children. So I think that's awesome. So
yes.
thank you so much. You'll be a motivator. What if any have been some of the obstacles of being a single father?
You know what? You just seen the obstacle. She's in my hip pocket. Not it's kind of just me and her, and a lot of times, I'm kind of I kind of am a certain way with her, and so it's always me and her. So kind of having she's getting in that age where now I have to kind of create certain boundaries, and she's one way with me, and for example, if I'm there when she's getting her hair done, she acts one way, and then if I leave, she's like a totally different kid. So that's kind of learning how to use positive reinforcement. I think that's something that a dad, you know not necessarily have ever dads aren't in that role. Dads are normally like the disciplinary, that
Right,
sort of role, or this that dad always says yes, or the mom's a disciplinary. But being in a role where you have to be the everything,
right,
so that's definitely an obstacle. Just um just figuring out the path for your kids, you know what I mean? Like there's a certain path I want to put her on, and trying to figure that out. I think a lot of times you could look at people that are maybe successful, or kids that are coming up, and you could see that this young lady or this young man is going to be successful, but that started in TK, kindergarten. That started, that's a plan, and that's a lot of work on that parents or that provider's part to put that child or set that child up for success.
yeah, you're right. So how does that make you feel, Jerome?
Um, it's encouraging. It's encouraging from the standpoint that here's this young lady that I'm gonna raise, and when she does, when she's successful, when she's success, when she's good, when she grows up and be successful, it'll be, it'll be because of me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So it's very encouraging. It's very, I'm honored. I'm very humbled to be able to have this opportunity to raise my daughter. I kind of, I made some choices where I didn't get to raise my oldest daughter, um, but it's life is that's life. We can't
Yeah.
the cards that were dealt.
Yeah.
We can't.
Right.
We just got to take the cards that were dealt and make the best of them.
That's
So
true.
Jerome, you kind of touched on it. What do you hope that she will gain from having a dad in her life, or being raised by a dad, by a single dad? What is your hope for her future? What do you hope that she gains from this experience?
I hope that she's independent, and that she, knows that, that understands that a love that a man that can give you, that a right love. I try to, be, a good example and show her right things, but hopefully I can show her, hopefully I'm showing her, what a man should be in her life. And I hope that she kind of sees, that a man can, be, you know what I mean, not all the stuff you see on the TV. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. I
Yes.
get it. I get it. That's good. Do you believe parenting girls is different from parenting boys? Okay.
What was the question one more time?
It was, do you believe parenting girls is different from parenting boys?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
A big
Yes.
yes. Huh?
Yes. 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 I believe, um, you know, but it, it's, I think it's like, I'm a man, so I understand like boy things,
Right, right, right.
sports and different things like that. And then it's like, it's like trying to, you know, find a dance school, that's kind of like foreign, or trying
Mm.
to find. My daughter likes dresses. Like when she graduated from kindergarten, I wasn't thinking, oh, I should put her in a dress. I just, I put her in some good summer clothes, and and she was not having it. She seen all the little girls in dresses, so I had to run home and grab a dress for her, and that was an experience. But I think there's a different things. I don't. I'm not raising a boy. I know some people say, "Oh, raising a boy is easier." I don't know because I'm not raising a boy, but I know raising a girl has its interesting challenges.
Wow.
So this
You know,
one, this one right here.
and
What
I'm
about
looking
the
at her
hair?
hair. Her hair is just beautiful. Do
Yeah,
you do
always
her
do.
hair? Because with girls, you have to
Very
do the
nice.
hair, the barrettes, and all of that. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you do that?
No, I do not. No, I do not. No. So have a seat, baby. So there was there's someone say, oh, watch YouTube videos, and I see these guys online. They're doing their daughter's hair, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try this, and let me tell you that did not go well. So she doesn't like me to touch her hair, and we come to a mutual agreement that's fine, and that's one of the things. You know, uh, I know the next question is about support system, but that's one of the things, finding somebody to, especially here at home is, I know a lot of people. So there's a few people I can have do their hair, do her hair. And that's, yeah, that's, definitely a blessing.
Yeah,
They do a real good job,
Yeah.
with the beads and stuff.
yeah. I thought it was you.
Yeah. I don't got them kind of skills. Yes.
Pam, were you gonna say something?
Hold on. Sit down, baby.
No, no. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, that I was gonna ask you about your
Have
support
a seat.
system,
Have a
your
seat.
somebody that
Have a
helps
seat.
you or people that you can depend on. So We know about
Um,
care about. What about anything else? Do you have a support system and just kind of encouraging you? I see a Facebook user on here that says, "I
yeah.
commend you, Mr. Piper, for not only building a Black family unit, but for also demonstrating."
Have a seat, babe. Have a seat.
I said that.
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's the support system. I up and moved to Fresno because of career opportunity, and
Mhm.
have a seat, babe. And and I didn't realize until maybe a couple of months into it that the support system is very very important, and I do have it out here in Bakersfield.
Mhm.
And so just little things from getting the hair done and just you know having a sitter,
Yeah.
somebody to watch your kid.
Uh,
It's very tough. It's
yeah.
very tough. It's very tough. But it's really, like I said, like it's what you see.
Mhm.
This is kind of like a true representation right now. It's just me and her, and I'm more or less, I'm my own support system. I do have help from time to time, but I'm getting the real dose of what single parent life is like. It ain't like maybe back in the day where I could just drop her off at grandma's house and go
Yeah.
run the streets or do
Mhm.
whatever I do. It's none of that. I
Mhm.
have her pretty much 24/7, and and that makes for some unique challenges.
Yeah.
But I respect it. So when I'm in the store and I see a kid going off, and the parent looks like they didn't had enough, and I just say, I'll tell them, just patience,
Yeah.
breathe, and just patience, because that's what you're gonna need, a lot of patience. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you can't, you we like the here in our culture in this country, we like the fairy tale. We
Mhm.
like it to we like it to look like this and sound like this, and
Mhm.
it looks good on paper. It
Mhm.
looks good far away, but when you get up on it, it's not. It
Right.
has. It's not perfect. It's
Right.
it's not um you know it is but it's a blessing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's a blessing, and it is it is well worth it.
Mhm.
It is I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just really really fortunate.
Mhm.
Um, because if this whole situation hadn't happened, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Because when I you see this all this going on, um, the fact of the matter is, I know for a fact that I would have died in my addiction.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be here.
Man.
All of the You looked at all this that didn't happen since the pandemic started, and
Mhm.
you think you're putting poisons in your body,
Yeah.
and today she's 5 years old. I got 5 years clean and sober, and
Good for you.
and the thing is, if this sometimes um I just think about, I could be out in public, and I got her, and she's just curious,
Mhm.
and she's independent. She wants to do what she wants to do, and um and I think about it, like, if this girl hadn't came in my life, um, I know for a fact I wouldn't be here. And
Wow.
and sometimes we can lose sight of, you know, um, what's important or what
Mhm.
is, because we want everything to be perfect, or we want appearances. We want to keep up with
Yeah.
appearances and that sort of thing. So so definitely, I am definitely humbled and grateful, by the experience that I have to raise my youngest daughter,
Mhm.
and what the future will hold for her.
Wow. That is excellent.
Well, I commend you on your 5 years of sobriety.
Thank
That's
you.
an awesome achievement. One day at a time. If you get one day in, 2 days in, but
Hmm. Hmm.
5 years, that's definitely something
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
commended. It
yeah,
really is.
yeah. Thank you.
My question for you is, at the beginning you said that you were raised by a single parent. And
Yes.
so I was just wondering, now that you are a single father, are the challenges, in your opinion, different from being a single father versus being a single mother? And if so, what are the differences?
I think it's the differences is it's the time when my mom was a single parent. There's just different things you could do with kids. Just discipline was different back then. Now it's just different. You have to be mindful how you discipline your kids. you know that there's just certain things that you are not going to get away with in this day and age. you know um, but I think kids are also different, because they're on this YouTube and computers, and
Right.
they can work all these. My 5-year-old daughter, she can work all these electronics. I can do that at 5 years old. So just think about their brains and what they're taking in, the input output sort of thing. So but I think it was a different era. This is different day and age.
Mhm.
um you know I think that there are certain things that you can take from your parents.
Mhm.
I wish I would have took some of those things.
Mhm.
but it's it's truly a blessing to be in this moment. To be on here with you ladies, and to have this conversation, because there may be someone out there that needs to sacrifice, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
You have to sacrifice in your life and say, what, I'm going to take my kids and I'm going to sacrifice.
Mhm.
you know because once you take on that responsibility, let me tell you, it's sacrifice. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff that you may want to do that you're not going to be able to do. you
Absolutely.
know you know what I
And
mean?
and on that subject, how do you balance, say, work and family life?
I balance it. I don't. I think a lot of single parents. I don't know how I balance it, but I
Mhm.
but I balance it, and
Because
it,
there's
it
someone out there that's maybe in your position, or could be in your position, or will be in your position. And so I'm just wondering, what type of advice might you have for them?
the advice I give them is routine. Be precise in your routine. And when you set aside time for yourself, set that time aside. So it's all about routine. It's scheduling. It's sticking to that schedule. We have a schedule. I wake my daughter up, I feed her, I get her dressed, you know, and then I'll get dressed, and while I'll get her dressed, wake her up, brush her teeth, then I'll sit her down to eat. I'll get dressed, and then I'll go drop her off at school, and then when she comes home, I'll feed her, take a bath, go to bed. So it's having that routine. So I do get a little time, there in the evening to kind of, sit back and do some reading or whatever, if I have to, catch up on some work or whatever I have to do. But it's routine. I will say, what get your routine and schedule it and stick to it. And once you get into that 26th day of that routine, it becomes a habit, and the rest is downhill.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think he's a great dad. we
Actually,
talked on we talked on the phone the other day about just him being who he is and what he's come through to
yeah,
achieve what he's achieved, and for his job and education, and then now to have a daughter, and to I just told him I admire him so much for that. That you're doing swell, Jerome. You
thank
may
you,
not think people see it, but they see it, and I
thank you.
know I know your mother is proud. I know she's proud
Yes,
of you. I know she's proud of you. So I just, my hats off to you. We talked about the support system. What are the joys you experience being a father raising your child? I think you've shared some of that with us already. That the joy of being a father, and to take on that role with your daughter, and to have come out of addiction to do so. And like you said, there's some. I think a person over here posted that your daughter's Rachel posted your daughter saved your life.
Yes,
So she
yes, yes,
gave
she
you a
did.
new look, out on life. And so I just think that's terrific, Jerome. Just
Yes,
to hear your story, I think is
yes,
terrific. And I think another thing about you is your transparency. I think I talked about that earlier. Your transparency. When we talk, you never hold anything back. You just tell
yes,
me how it is, how you made it, how it was done. And that's what our community needs. It needs
right,
for our
right,
I love our women. Don't get me wrong, because women need to get together. We got some hurdles we need to jump as
right,
women, a group of women. But for black men, there's really nothing that we see that here in Kern County. I won't say there's
right,
anywhere else because everything I looked at, statistics are back east. How they're
right,
trying
right,
to make sure that they handle things according to the black man to help him out of some things, that they help
right,
him
right, right,
realize what
right,
he can do, that he can do some things. So I think
right.
you being that model to men. What do you think about you being a model to men as a father,
Um,
and that's
well,
coming from addiction?
well,
Hmm.
well, my thing is that I know for a fact that I'm not the first to go down the path that this journey that I'm on,
Hmm.
and then and in retrospect, you realize that people have done the same thing you've done, but
Hmm.
they didn't talk about it, or you didn't know, or you get together with family and they tell stories and that sort of thing, and so my thing was I'm thinking, where were these people at, when I was going through what I was going through, just to pull me to the side and share, I think it would have meant so much. But I can't blame anyone because, it's a different era.
Hmm.
It's like you went through something, it was your past, leave it alone, move on. I'm a new person.
Yeah.
And so for me, I feel like it's important to share. I
Yeah.
feel like it's going to help somebody. I feel like that there's a stigma out there, especially with black men. There's a stigma
Yes.
out there, and I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm breaking that cycle. I'm
Yeah.
not going to be a part of that that toxic cycle where you
Hmm.
you 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 fall into these certain categories, and so I just feel like I want to say, hey, you can raise your kids.
Yeah.
It may not be perfect, and it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to look the way you want it to look.
That's right.
But you're going to get through it,
Yeah.
and I think that's what makes the best stories. Is I'm pretty sure you ladies, coming up, you got through some things.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
and those things made you a better person. And so I'm here to say that whatever you're going through, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's manageable. You can go through these things, and you can raise your kids at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's just so much we can do, but it's we have this thing in our culture where it tells us this is how you should be.
Yeah.
This is the box that you're in.
Hmm.
And I'm here to tell you that there's no box.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit. You can
Yeah.
do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be, and you can raise them kids at the same time.
Yeah. I love it, Jerome. I love it. I love it. I love it. And you're
J-
right. You're right. We can do anything we want to do, but we have this stigma. It's almost like a dark cloud that hangs
Hmm.
over our
Hmm.
culture, our people, that
Yeah.
we see it one way, and that
Yeah.
we can't do another way. So
Yeah.
I like you being
Yeah,
transparent.
in Bakersfield it's tough. We're losing so many young black males that are so talented that just to the violence that haven't even become what they might have become. And
Hmm.
so, and a lot of that is because it's I want to hang out, or I want to be involved
Hmm.
in this particular lifestyle instead of I could remember my granddad, he didn't have no education,
Hmm.
and he bought his house in 1958 on
Wow.
East Third and Rodman, with no education. He owned that
Wow.
house. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? So what's changed?
Yeah.
We say things have got better for us. So what's changed? You know what I mean? And I think the Institute of Family, especially for black males, it's that's the part that we need to get back to. To get out of the streets and all that. That's not where it's at. It's raising your family and being there for your family. That's the point.
Why do you let's stay right there. Let's put a hanger right there. So why do you think that? Why do you think that? What might be some things that you think might prevent them from doing that? Maybe personal things in their lives, or what do
Yeah,
you think?
that has a part of it, but it's what's glamorized. If you
Yeah.
look at all the music, there's a part in my life where I had to stop listening. I listened to nothing but Christian rap.
Mm-hmm.
you know that's what I listen to. I love There's some great Christian rap artists out there, a lot of good ones.
Mm-hmm.
But that secular music, um it you can't listen to something that's telling you to be a certain way. You just listen to it. It's telling you to treat women like this. It's telling you to go sell drugs. It's telling you to kill another black man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're listening to that. What's the probability of you going out there and and acting on these things? So I think our music, our entertainment, you know, that has a lot to do with it. Just just that cliche,
Mm-hmm.
that role, like this is what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I did this for Black History Month. I did this middle school African American conference, and
Mm-hmm.
all the boys came up. You know what they wanted to be when they grow up?
Mm-hmm.
They all wanted to be basketball players, football players. That's it.
Wow.
Every single boy is basketball player, football player. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Not one of them had any other answer. And we know the statistics on that. Only 1% of those kids are going to make it to the pros. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's the thing. Just
Yeah.
imagine that your whole life you want to play basketball or you want to play football, and then you get to a point where that doesn't happen. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to be devastated. And then what do you have to fall back on? Well, I
Right.
could go I could go hang in the hood. I could
Yeah.
go run with these people. You know what I mean? Or I can, because I'm telling you right there, that's easy. It's
Yeah.
easy to make bad choices.
Yeah.
It's easy not to have no responsibilities, but going to work every day and being on time, or dealing with a supervisor that's on your tail, at a job that
Right.
ain't paying you nothing. That's
Mm-hmm.
hard.
Yeah.
But understanding that, you can make your own way,
Mm-hmm.
you can make your own brand. There's just so much these kids can do. And that's that we got to empower our young youth, you
Yeah.
know, to do, teaching them trades again,
Yeah.
um, that we need to go back to like FDR policies,
Yeah.
trades and different things. Think about it. How many young men do you know can drywall? How many young men can frame,
Yeah.
lay cement,
Mm-hmm.
masonry. These were legitimate trades. Different things like that. So it's having a skill. If you have a skill, you're
Yeah.
gonna be able to pay the bills.
That's right.
And that's something that
Mm-hmm.
if you could teach these young men a skill, at a young age, like out of high school, then I think if I could learn I can make money this way instead of that way,
Mm-hmm.
that appeal becomes less.
Yeah.
Where if I don't know, only way I know how to make money is in a negative way,
Mm-hmm.
then where do you think I'm going to go? I
That's
don't
right.
know how to make money this way because I wasn't raised to be an entrepreneur or to be a business owner. I was just raised to, oh, I think I'm going to play basketball. I think I'm going to play football. So
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that has a lot to do with where our young men are,
Yeah.
um, these days.
And what they see as success.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
see jewelry and
Mm-hmm.
and flashy cars, and you know what? Sometimes it ain't about that because
Right.
that car payment ain't no joke. So I'm gonna stick with this one that's reasonable, and it's being
Yeah.
responsible with your finances. You gotta sometimes you have to accept that. You know what? I'm not gonna have all the jewelry, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But my bills are paid.
Yeah.
you know I came from, I was on Section 8 a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
and the goal on Section 8 was like 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 like, oh my goodness, I'm on Section 8. What I'm gonna do? And then
Mm-hmm.
I would say, oh, I'm gonna get off of this as fast as I can,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to do that. But I could tell that story. A lot of people won't tell that story. I
Yeah.
could say that I had to take that assistance, but I used it to get off and take that little help and
Yeah.
get my degree and move on past that season in my life. But
Mm-hmm.
there's social services out there to help you, but it's not a Section 8 ain't a lifelong thing.
That's right.
It's get on there, find something, go to school,
Mm-hmm.
trade school, go get your CDLs, whatever you're gonna do, start making your money.
Yeah.
Now you can pay your rent,
Yeah.
and then you move on. But a lot of these things are not these social systems aren't used in the fashion that they were designed for.
Yeah. To just help you out.
Yeah.
Get you going. You're right. You're right. Well, I thank you for your transparency. You are just you got all these. How do women respond to you in dating situations when you let them know you have a kid? That's what they have a questions.
Well, it's it's you know I would say before it was really um it was really tough, because I don't think nobody want nobody with no kid, especially a 5-year old. I don't, especially around my age. It's like most people, once they're my age, they're done raising their kids. So it definitely was challenging. You know, you know I I have somebody now that is filling that role. But I don't really ask a lot. I don't ask a lot of her, and so it's kind of it's kind of like a growth thing. We're all growing. I'm growing, my daughter's growing, and she's growing, and she's been able to kind of step in there. But it makes for challenges. It's tough because it's you're asking someone to you fill a role, that filling being somebody's mom or being somebody's dad.
Mm-hmm.
um those are big shoes to fill, and thus far, I would say that I've been blessed to have some have a genuine person. But let me tell you, it ain't Snow White and Prince Charming. It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of work, a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah, that's good, Jerome. That's good. Let's see. She's well mannered. I heard her say, "Excuse me, Daddy."
Right.
Me, Daddy. Keep
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah,
You're a dad who rocks.
yeah. She want daddy's attention. Yeah.
We have
My
another one. We have Jeannie Hill down here. Let's see what Jeannie got to say. Am I coming on? Is it coming on? Okay. Okay. There we go. Mr. Piper, you're an amazing example of father's true love and commitment to his child. You are to be commended for your 5 years of sobriety, and may God continue to bless every step you take and move you make on behalf of yourself and your beautiful, precious baby girl.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
If you could give any advice to the young men out there that, you know, I know they experience a lot of things, especially when you're not with the child's mother
Yep.
and you want to see your child. Can you give them any type of direction or what they should do? I know every
Uh,
situation is different. I do know that.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
there are some certain standards that maybe you could
Yep.
recommend.
Well, first and foremost, love you. You
Hmm.
got to love you.
Hmm.
You got to love yourself, and by finding that, you're able to realize that you have rights,
Hmm.
and then be patient, because if you're going to fight for your rights, the court system is not a fast system, but you do have rights. And I would say going down to the family law office down there, and asking questions
Hmm.
until you get the right answers.
Yeah.
and setting yourself up, because a lot of times moms will go to courts, and the courts will file papers, you know, on the behalf of the mom, and the dad doesn't even know about it, and then, oh, I'm on child support, or whatever reason. And
Mhm.
obviously, I believe that you have to pay your fair share for your child. um, but I will say you have rights, and but you have to fight for those rights.
Yeah.
And in any city, you can go down to the family law office, and you can ask some questions, and they're going to show you how to file that paperwork. So my advice would be, first, be patient, love yourself, and fight, for the right to, visitation, or whatever it is with your child. Like, it's so easy to just give up, and I understand that, because I was in that situation. I didn't know what to do, and then my two oldest children got a little older, and they're like, nah, we're gonna, they can make their own decisions.
Yeah.
And so, but that's okay. That's okay, because I had a beautiful experience with my oldest daughter. I went to Salt Lake recently, and she was I was driving, and she would just sit in the back seat. I'm like, okay, I'm a chauffeur again. All right. She's in
Mhm.
the back seat, so you don't want to sit in the front? And she's like, nah, I'm good. And we went to lunch, and she got some things off her chest. She's 14, and and then that's another part. You have kids, and they get older. Let them say what they got to say.
Mhm.
And I took it, and it was healthy. It was healthy for me to hear her, and let her get that off her chest. And by the end of the trip, she was riding in the front seat with me. So I'm gonna take that as a win. Um, you know, but uh,
Right,
but
right, right.
but those are the choices and decisions that I made that
Yeah.
led to that situation. And now, situation manageable. It's not perfect,
Yeah.
but we do have a relationship, and I'll continue to do my part, and be there, for my children, in every capacity that I'm capable of being there for them.
That's good, Jerome. You just always just soften my heart when you talk about That's always good. You're a great.
I've got a question for you. Have you been able to find or um, find a brotherhood of men who are in the same situation that you are, raising your children or your child by yourself? That you where you share tips or ideas of how to get through certain situations, or
You know what? Not a group focused on that, like single men. I haven't been able to find a group like that. That's probably a group I need to start. But but I do have a prayer group I go to every Friday, and so that's always good. There's good brothers in that
yeah,
group that you can kind of, I can kind of talk to. And then I have different self-help groups that I participate in, and different men that I can, that been down similar paths, and I'm able to kind of confide in that regard. So
right.
so so I would say, if you may not have a group that focuses on that, but I would say, go and, I would say, find some men, whatever group. There's always, you're always going to find a good group of men at the church,
That's right.
that's going to be able to, help you out in
Mhm.
your time of need, you know?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you. Thank you.
Jerome. That's good. Is there anything else you want to say or leave with anybody? Because you've given plenty of hope today. You've given plenty of hope today. Is there anything else you want to share, or you think that would help somebody?
Well, I would just say, believe in you. If you believe, you will achieve, and don't never give up on you. Love you, and fight for what you want. There's always a way to get to your goals. And let's look at, in this life, long as you got air in your lungs, everything is manageable.
Yeah.
When you don't got no more air in your lungs, then things aren't manageable anymore. But long as you're living, and you're blessed with this life, things are manageable. Be patient, and keep fighting. And as they say, if you fight the good fight, you're gonna get good outcomes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let me ask you that. I just have one more thing that popped up into my head when you were talking about the process of getting your daughter. Did someone help you? Was there a mentor there for you, or you just did all this on your own?
So I had a social worker, a couple of them, and I
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not supposed to say their names, but I'm going to say their names. So first there was Lauren Dean,
Mm-hmm.
and Lauren Dean is an awesome lady,
Mm-hmm.
and she believed in me from the beginning and was instilled that hope, like you could do this, Mr. Piper, you got this, Mr. Piper, and then there was Monica Dorado, and she was like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna get your daughter back, and you're gonna move in a homeless center, and you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get a voucher, and you're gonna raise that little girl. You're not moving in with no family, none of that. You're gonna go, and she was just kind of, her experience of knowing like, hey, you can put yourself in a bad situation, or you can put yourself in a good situation, and those two ladies from CPS really were blessings, and Judge Vega.
Mm-hmm.
He recently retired, but Judge Vega was awesome, during that whole process.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, Christy, I can't remember my lawyer, but her first name was Christy. I can't remember her name, but my lawyer was awesome, and just that whole team. You hear about so many horror stories when it comes to CPS and them taking a child.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but my story was different.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went into that process, I'm like, I'm gonna get her back, and I
Mm-hmm.
knew that I'm gonna get her back fast,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not gonna drink, smoke, use any substance. I was done, and I'm not gonna let anything derail me. They say jump, I said how high, and that's unfortunate. Some people say, well, I ain't did nothing wrong. I don't want to. Let me tell you, I never tested dirty
Mm-hmm.
for CPS, not one time
Mm-hmm.
during my whole year and a half or 18 months,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, a lot of people use that as, well, I'm not testing dirty. I'm not going to do these drug classes. I wasn't testing dirty, and I still did my drug classes. I still did everything they asked me. They said, go take this class. I took it. They said, go do this. I remember I was starting some class they wanted me to take, and I went to court, and the judge was like, you don't have to do that. And I stopped taking those classes. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that there are people there to help you.
Yeah.
But you got to think, if I'm being aggressive and uncooperative,
Mm-hmm.
what is that person that's trying to help me going to be?
Right.
Especially if I'm treating them like
Mm-hmm.
this. If someone treats you bad, you're gonna turn you off. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say, open heart, open mind if you're going through a CPS reunification process, and just do what they ask, and get it done. Because once you are in that process, they got enough evidence. They didn't. There's something that ain't right.
Yeah.
So handle your business, get your children back, and move on to the next season of your life.
That's good. That's good, Jerome. That's good. That's good. Well, so you talked about father reunification. I think on your Facebook page you have a page called Father Reunification. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah, I have a
Tell me a little
page,
bit about
and
that.
I just post like encouraging memes or encouraging things geared at fatherhood. If I find something, on Facebook, I'll share it. It's something I need to go live with more, and like Linda was saying, I need to probably make a group, of men. That would probably be something. Um, but yeah, it's just a page I have, and it's just, if you're a father and you're going through it, you could go on that page and scroll up and down, and you're gonna find something that is gonna encourage you, or you might find a conversation. I think we had a conversation on there once about child support, and you get these experiences. This is what I went through, this is what you went through, and then you learn how to, um you know that it's not so bad. Let me go up here, let me talk to these people, let me stop ignoring this, and let me take care of this business,
Yeah.
so I can get out of this situation, because it's not forever. Child support, none of that, it's not forever. It's just if you don't take care of it, it's just going to be bad. If you ignore it, it's not going away. So to be able to have that conversation and learn from somebody else's experience is basically, what that page is there for, just to share those experiences that a father may go through.
That's good. It's a good page, Jerome. I see it. But you know what? I think it's about time for a book.
Yeah. I'm working on one. I'm working on one. I don't know what I'm gonna focus on, but I got a buddy of mine that I played college football with. We've been talking. I'm in the early stages, but working on something I think there's definitely a testimony there, and hopefully I can come up with something that someone will read and benefit from.
Yeah, that's good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, if there's nothing else, we're going to move right on into our announcements. We have our backpack and school giveaway, supplies giveaway. Pam, did you want to talk about that?
Yes. Yes, I do. On August 13th, 2022, we'll be having a backpack drive here in Bakersfield. No Sister Left Behind will be sponsoring a backpack and school supply giveaway, and that will be held at 530 4th Street, which is the Bakersfield Senior Citizens Center. And so what we're going to ask, and you'll see more about this later, is we're going to ask everyone to donate $10. It costs about $10 for a backpack and supplies. Mm-hmm. And so if you can donate $20, $30, whatever you can, just know that one backpack and supplies will cost us about $10. Our goal is basically to supply at least 100 to 200 children with the tools that they need to have an awesome school year. They've been through a lot, our teachers, our students, our parents. So we want to give them the best possible start that we can. So again, if you can donate $10 for one backpack, but I know we can do more, at least 2 backpacks, $20. And the way that you would do that is to donate. The way that you can donate is to go to our website at No Sister Left Behind, 2.org. And you would go to donations, but make a memo or make a note that it is for backpack. Right, Linda?
Yes, it's for a good cause. Cause.
We definitely want to help our babies.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Pam. You got anything else there? What about membership?
Oh, yes, always membership. As you know, membership is the core of this organization. Mm-hmm. And many of you have joined, and we appreciate your continual support of No Sister Left Behind. We're trying to do so many things to help this community. Many of you still have not renewed. So if you haven't renewed, I urge you to go to the website and renew your membership. The membership hasn't gone up, which is unusual in these times because everything has gone up, but our membership is still $50 per year. But that $50 helps us to complete our mission, the things that we want to do for this community. And some of the things that we are doing for this community are, again, the backpack drive. We have a women's conference coming up and the Total Well-Being Conference actually coming up on October 15th. And then, of course, we're going to have in November our warm clothing drive. But it's more than that. We have a lot of programs going out, and then we have more programs to come. But we need your assistance. So please become a member today. $50. Go to the website, No Sister Left Behind, 2.org. If you have not renewed, we ask you please consider renewing. If you have not joined, we ask you to join. And we always welcome volunteers and donations.
Okay, is there a deadline to donate for the backpacks? That's Brenda Cooper.
Yes, we're going to be sending out information probably the first week of July. But you can donate today if you like, $10. The end will be probably that first week before the 13th. of August, because the backpack drive is on the 13th. So we'll probably end that first week before the 13th. $10 today.
Thank you, Pam. Is there anything else? I know you mentioned the Total Wellbeing Conference that we're going to be having on October the 15th, Saturday, October the 15th. Thank you. Saturday, October the 15th. We're looking to do a lot of things. We have swag bags and different things to hopefully have a great guest speaker for you. So we're asking that you, sign up, but save the date. Definitely save the date. So we'll have more information for you in the future. So we're looking for a great time. It's our first time ever having a conference. It's going to be held at the Bakersfield Marriott. So we look forward to that. So we're just grateful to be able to do that for our community. So that's all the announcements that we have today. Are there any more announcements I have?
Did you want to talk about the higher education program, empowerment program?
Yeah, that happened today.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it's, I mean,
Great.
It was great. It was good.
okay.
It was good.
Yeah, excellent information. More people should hear it. It's just excellent information for young ladies and for older ladies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually on if you go to our Facebook page, facebook.com NSLB 2020, it is actually recorded and it's on there. So it was really nice. Great information. Just great information. And if you did sign up for thank you, Pam. If you did sign up for the higher education empowerment program, do not hesitate to ask us to look at those tapes. We want you to go back to college. If you have a desire to go back to college, you filled out that long registration. We know you want to go back. For whatever reason you didn't make it today, that's fine. We don't want you to stop though. If you want us to be a support to you while you make that choice to go back to college, get in touch with us. We're not going to trip. We want you there. We're not going, we have a tendency, I didn't go, I don't want to say nothing. No. If you have the desire to still go to college, we're here for you. We ain't going nowhere. We're in the community. That's one of the programs that we do, is to get you back to college if you want to go back to college. We're here to help and support you, give you a mentor. We're here for you. So we don't want you to think, because I didn't go, I registered and I didn't go. Now we're here for you. So, get in touch with us through Facebook or through our website or through our email. Those of you that registered and those of you that are thinking of registering. But I ask you to go onto our Facebook page and look at those seminars we had today and listen to the women that are speaking. They're not only speaking about registration and admissions and financial aid, they're speaking to you about life situations. They're speaking to you about life situations and some of those barriers that keep us from finishing college or going to college or going back to college. And they give you some statistics. So I just want you to go on there, take time to look at it and see, make a choice on your own. It's time that if you want to do something, the time is now. It's not later on. It's now. If it's later on, then we'll be down the road later on. But I say the same. We'll be down the road later on. So yeah, take a look at those videos and see what you see. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. They were great today. Excellent.
Yes, as Mr. Piper said, as long as there is breath in the body.
Right.
Yes.
And one other thing I'd like to say about that too is that while we do focus on women, because that's who we are, that information is excellent for anybody. For men as well. So those videos are there. Show it to your young men. They will be encouraged. It's tools for them to take and be able to do what they're called to do. So
yeah.
Excellent. If there's not anything else, Mr. Piper, you have anything else to say, sir?
I just want to say thank you, ladies. I'm always honored and humbled whenever you ask me to come on, and I really appreciate you guys, having me on. So thank you, and blessings to No Sister Left Behind, and you guys have a good rest of your Father's Day weekend.
Thank you so much.
Happy Father's Day to you.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy Father's Day. And on behalf of our executive board, Pam, I'm the president. Pam Walker is our vice president. Linda Factor is our treasurer. And I see our secretary, our executive secretary, is on board to Miss Rachel Hubbard. She's in our chat. We thank you. We thank you for being with us this evening. We thank our audience for being here. We are grateful that you are even willing to listen to us. But we will try to always bring you information that is a benefit and a blessing to you. So we thank you and have a good evening, everyone. We love you.
Bye.